Juan-O's world.
My baby mama trippin', she been going through my phone. Tired of me cheating, I can't leave these hoes alone. Hella pics, hella tips on my cash app. It's like hold up a minute.
What up, though, y'all? How you living? How you doing? Welcome to Juan-O's world. Oh man, this is something I did not want to happen and or see, but now these things have transpired and taken place. I gotta do my 1-2. I gotta do my 1-2. Now, Juan-O is straight up and down like 6 o'clock. You know, throughout this whole messy Jesse scandal, damn, Jesse. That's all I can say. Is damn. People was mad at me because I called Jesse messy, man. And then some of my Joy Road people like, dog, stall the bum out. Stall the bum out. Whenever Joy Road people get to referring to somebody as the bum, what they telling you, that's kind of like a lightweight headlock of Juan-O. We welcomed you over here. You Juan-O. And I gotta be like, all right. So I'm not gonna ride on Messy Jesse. I'm not. I can't stop calling him Messy Jesse. And that's another thing. Damn it. I started the name Messy Jesse. That was me first. That was me first. Trying to keep the peace, man. I'm what I do better, all my life I thought I was talentless, But when I got into the streets, because my job wasn't paying me shit and my degree wasn't worth nothing. When I got into the streets, I realized like I was good at people. I was good with people and I was great at making deals. You know what I'm saying? So that's my talent. But this is one deal. This was one time. I just couldn't make the peace. I almost could. I was able to do some good in certain situations. I was able to develop some relationships I didn't have before. I was able to develop a little bit of a correspondence with Mr. Bruce Wayne himself. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This interview is kind of crazy. Like, people always ask, like, Juan-O, why you don't do no Detroit stories? Juan-O, why you don't do no Detroit stories? First of all, motherfucker, I do or I have done Detroit stories. I will do Detroit stories. I almost made the mistake of saying I do Detroit stories. I'm learning my journalism, and so it's like I gotta learn computer programs. I gotta learn YouTube. I gotta learn how to work a motherfucking camera. I gotta learn about softbox lights, natural lights. On top of running a goddamn Instagram page, which why is that shit so hard? Why my goddamn StreamYard don't just automatically connect to my YouTube page? I mean my goddamn Instagram page. Why is my Facebook saying my settings ain't on professional when I'm verified and I got Meta Office? Why is that? I gotta pay a fucking teenager to come in here and teach me some. I went off on some old personal shit. You gotta forgive me. I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? And look, I almost went even more personal. This ain't about me. This about the city, and man, listening to this interview, like this is crazy. Like I've killed somebody. This guy's a murderer. And you like say, Juan-O, what's the difference between a killer and a murderer? Well, when I killed somebody, it was legal. To murder somebody is illegal. And typically when you kill somebody, it's not what you left the house to do. When you murder somebody, you damn sure left the house to do that. Now, this video don't necessarily need a reaction from me, but it do need a translation because this guy's talking hella fast shit. He's talking in a very Detroit style way. You understand? Without doing this ain't no porno either. Even though it's a quadruple X-rated movie. I can't explain it to you. You just gotta see it, man. Shit. Well, people gonna be mad at me a little bit anyway. And that's just what that is. That just what's gonna come with it. And that's why I play everything straight up and down like 6 o'clock. You know, that way no matter what side of time you on, you can't hate me for being straight up and down. And sometimes I might get it wrong. But I don't know, to even dislike me is kind of crazy because man, let's watch the damn shit, man. Let's watch the damn shit. I don't know, man. Shit. Let's watch the shit, man. Let's watch the shit.
Money for interviews over the past 2 decades to speak about a situation or situations that have no real value being discussed in these types of forums. Know that I've not been given a dime to speak on this subject on Dawgface's platform. While I can appreciate the curiosity of young adults or those persons who knew these two young men, Antonio Cadell Jr., aka Whiteball, and Darnell Lindsay, aka Blade Icewood, I cannot appreciate men who are grandfathers clout chasing and attempting to bring back a portion of their youth by assassinating someone else's character.
Now you talking about Messy Jesse.
Specifically mine. My knowledge of the events was transpired in the early morning hours of September 18th, 2004, continuing up to May 2005, have been promised to a person committed to doing an in-depth documentary on Wipeout and the Cheddar Boys for the purpose of setting the record straight. Even then, I would mention no one by name. Again, this is a favor to a friend, and I am receiving no monies. I can't offer the thirsty a drink, nor can I get a petty purpose, though I can clear up a few misconceptions. I've never worked for Wipeout in any capacity. I'm the big homie. I'm not a boy and never have been. When I rap it,
When niggas like this come in the room, I'm gonna tell you what you do in Detroit. You go ahead and you tuck these and you put these on. That's what the fuck you do. You understand? This is not a laughing matter. And this is why my YouTube page is important. Because for my son, my nephews, or just in general, like I dance with a lot of these type of individuals, you know what I'm saying? And not him specifically. This guy is the second generation. I'm fourth, fifth generation. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is hands off material right here. But guys like this took a liking to me when I came into the game because they was the ones holding the bag and they was not allowing niggas my age to touch it at all. At all. And I dealt with a couple guys like this. I was on their line. I was a good little homie. And I clearly knew to always stand my ground, but to never fuck around. And that's why they fucked with me, because I was straight up and down like 6 o'clock. That's all I can really say to that so far. You understand? But this nigga sound like murder. Oh, shit.
it requires a bag and a body to help. And while I know the little guy that is so often talked about, He and I bumped into each other a time or two. In fact, just saw him a little over 2 years ago. Like me,
The little guy he talking about is Lil Larry, which is the guy that actually unalived Blade Icewood. Man, being successful is hard. You understand? And then when you young and success happens early, it kind of jades you a little bit. It might make you disrespectful. It might mess up your calculations. It might do a lot of things. I don't know what Ice would. Well, let's be honest. No matter what Blade did or said to anybody, people was gonna not like it because he was a star. And we're not all. Some of us are popular, some of us are famous or whatever, but very few of us are stars. And when I say a star, I mean you the person that people looking at even when you at your worst. You get the attention even when you're quiet. Some people just have that. So, in my own personal opinion, not to say this guy didn't like Blade or none of that. You know, I don't want him. I don't want to be shit. Not to say that, but he obviously felt as though he had a legit reason for whatever his problem was with Blade. But God damn it, I done forgot where I was at. This is crazy, man.
he didn't want to talk about the past, but we have not, nor will we ever be friends. White was.
So what he's telling you is the guy that actually unalive Blade and him, which he gonna get to his role and what he may have done to Blade later. What he's telling you is them two ain't connected. And this is kind of funny right here because well, we're gonna get to that at the end of this, because Juan-O wanna share a lesson with some of the OGs that may not want to listen to me. And I get it. You know, motherfucker, you might be uh, from the way the city make it look at, man, you probably got $100 million. Shit, you might as well have $100 million. And I'm only worth $1 million. Maybe I'm worth a little bit. I'm worth a little bit more than $1 million. But as far as cash, man, like fucking 120 grand, man. Shit, I can just like touch, like 120 grand. Like I had to sell a house or two or some shit to actually, have a ticket, and you know what I'm saying? Like, so I can understand somebody not wanting to, I get it. But that don't necessarily mean that I'm wrong either.
Is and will forever be family. As for Juan, Juan Red, we've spoken twice that I, recall. He appeared an ambitious entrepreneur, very focused. Maybe one day he and I can share some bullet points about life after incarceration to assist others. As for Darnell,
Now he just gave Street Lord Juan great credibility for being a businessman. Now, when he said share some bullet points, it's it's unclear if he means uh, it's unclear if he means have a conversation or if they can do each other dirty. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Share some bullet points. Like I say, when you say, why you don't do no Detroit story? That's because But most of us are killers. I was talking to my brother about this the other day. He like, well, shit, why? Most of us is killers. Right. And some of these other cities, you know, they got like brick babies and niggas like them that can just run around doing all kind of flaw shit, being disrespectful and shit like that. It's just okay, but not here. Not here. So he for sure gave Juan respect for being a great businessman. That's a fact. That was a clear fact of him being a good businessman. But exchange bullet points, I'm not fully sure on, man. I'm not fully sure on. Maybe that means getting a story correct. Maybe some things were assumed on both sides. Or maybe fuck the assumptions, we gonna have to get it in. It could mean both. He first generation Detroit nigga. He's you know, speaking very candid. Is he first generation or second generation? First generation would be 82 to 87. Second generation would be like 87 to 92, 93. You know what I'm saying?
Shortly after Wipeout was murdered, I had an occasion to meet the once-in-a-lifetime generational talent, Mr. Blade Icewood. You know, for every time my mama shed. In fact,
Every time my mama shed another 1,000 on your head, show your face, nigga think I'm playing. That was the song that might have been, that's what I was telling you, that might have been the first drill rap song. This is the song Blade made about being paralyzed after he was paralyzed. When I guess, you know, he was back on this boss shit. I'm putting money on niggas' heads and I'm doing whatever. I mean, but as you see, everybody in this story, nobody in this story was playing with less than $1 million, except for maybe Messy Jesse. But all these niggas was paid. That's why, like, Detroiters, when you be like, and there's no disrespect to Big Meech, but it's like when you bring them up, it's like, dog, there's a lot of $1 million niggas around here, streetwise and blue collar wise, like straight up, a lot of $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of motherfuckers with $1 million worth of cars in their driveway that actually live in the city. Some of them, you know what I'm saying, they got rare cars in the back of that bitch. They ain't started up on purpose. Type shit. Facts. That's just Detroit. Shit. This ain't no rap shit, nigga. This Revenge of the Pen. And when I see you, say hello to my little friend. Can't it be cut throat? Which I'm assuming that it was throw you in the lake about 35 feet. I'm cutthroat. Please believe me, I put a hole in your ass the size of a CD. Y'all young ass niggas can't fuck with. You know, you do your research. I think him might have did that to Icewood the time he survived. You know what I'm saying? But my own war wounds out here. But shit, man.
I think I may have been one of the last persons to see him before he was paralyzed.
Oh shit. First of all, he gave him credit for being the ruler of the Great Lakes and being Blade Icewood, but here he go telling you that he paralyzed. Man, or at least he was there. And like I told you, you know who the city assumes the other cat was.
Needless to say, both young men were victims of tragic violence. But because someone's granddaddy got in their feelings, they're using these senseless tragedies to bring up the past. Does anyone see how wrong this shit is?
Exactly. Exactly. And this is what I tried to jump on with the Messy Jesse thing, and this is why I tried to quell that shit. But then I understood when you're dealing with somebody like a Jesse, like they done been around a lot, they done seen a lot, and they may be hurt in some ways or another, and justifiably so. Their hurtness or their pain, it may be understandable, it may be justifiable, but it doesn't justify your reactions. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you realize you're around a bunch of killers and murderers that realize we all done been played. So it's like, okay, all of us have realized we all been played. Now I'm not gonna put you in a trick bag. Don't you put me in one. And we all trying to do better because we all done bumped into each other and ain't none of us killed each other because now we peeping all this life done been lost. We done took our stars, we done did this and did that. And we ain't got shit to show for it. So when you get a Messy Jesse on the scene because he need a few dollars, it creates bullshit. And then that's where Juan-O jumped in. I know a lot of people not understanding, like, yo, Juan-O, why was you even trying to, why was you, can I put my buffs back on? Man, Dre, can I put my buffs back? Is Juan-O allowed to wear his buffs around you? Goddamn, man. I don't want to be feeling scared, man. You know? Shit. We cool? No. Anyways, where was I at? Yeah, he right. What Messy Jesse did in exposing people, Messy Jesse exposed himself. And this is why, like, some of the women in my life be like, well, why you don't have feelings? A man should not allow himself to have feelings because shit like this happens. And I'm not telling you things may not affect you. I'm not telling you you may not see or have a certain perception of things. But what I'm telling you is life is life. And don't waste your time feeling a way about it. You either get on where you mad at or let it go. That's just pretty much what it is, you know. Now some things, you know, life will put you in a position to work it out. And if that happens, you get that opportunity, then of course, if you want to, you take it. If you don't, you don't. But you can't sit there and harp on shit and then try and bring everybody else down. And the thing about it is, where I'm not gonna rat on Jesse like I promised the Joy Road niggas that hit me in the inbox. But y'all know me. Y'all know I'm the nerd. Y'all know I'm from the hood. Y'all know I've been selling shit like how I do things. I want to always be fair to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Dawgface gave Jesse the best interview any of these Detroit rappers from the old school has ever had. And in return, Jesse gave Dawgface one of the best interviews that a Detroit rapper has ever done. The first minute and 30 some odd, excuse me, y'all. The first hour and 30 some odd minutes of that interview was Detroit history classic. Nobody knew, and that's another thing. Don't start no East Coast, no, don't start no East Side, West Side Detroit beef because all of these characters involved were all East Side. Jesse was originally from the East Side. Blade, as Jesse said, was originally from the East Side. We know Juan is from the East Side. The little fella, little Larry, East Side. Shit, I that nigga may not even like being called Little Larry. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to call this nigga either. I gotta take my buffs back off. God damn, man. All these murderers. I'm just a killer. Them niggas is murderers. Man, gotta show respect. So you ain't gotta worry about, hey, Juan, a whole ass nigga. Hey, nigga, I know my position. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I caught the fish. These motherfuckers like gutting them and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I might have shot the bear. These motherfuckers want to cut him up and shit and wear his skin and shit. We two different type of niggas, man. I understand we on the same side. We all represent Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to fall in line. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Man, I can't believe Dawgface. First of all, I can't believe he got this interview. Second of all, I can't believe he did it. You know what I'm saying? I like when that Nipsey Hussle shit happened, and niggas was like, "Why don't you do Detroit stories and all of this?" And I realized that nobody was looking at the Detroit stories that I had done. And then I also realized that by me by me doing proper investigations on stories, that it may spark people to do investigations on our stories. Now, the funny thing about this is even with all of the YouTubers, because it's a story on there about Wipeout. It's a story on YouTube about Blade that's not done by Detroit YouTubers. But nobody has ever tried to enter, or maybe they did try. You know what? Let me reverse. It's pretty clear they did try to interview these two guys, Carter and Lil Larry. Now, me personally, I tried to interview Lil Larry so I could stop this from ever happening. To where it just be like, but now I see that was impossible. I see that was impossible. I see how naive it was, and now I see how layered the story was. You know what I'm saying? As far as what we had heard in the city, it didn't seem to be so layered. But as I'm sitting here listening to this guy, see, what I had always heard was Wipeout was a G. And some of his little homies would hit licks and things like that. And it was like, but you couldn't do shit to his little homies because they was his little homies. And if you do something to his little homies, he gonna do something to you. And if you do something to, you know what I'm saying? If you do something to him, then his little homies gonna do something to you. And so that's how it was perceived. Now you heard it in the Jesse James interview where he said he laid eyes on this guy when Wipeout played the song "Boss Up and Take Their Money." Mind you, "Boss Up and Take Their Money," Blade supposedly fronted Tough Tone some of the however many hundreds of pounds, and Tough Tone never had intentions on paying them. That's supposedly the story. I'm just giving you what's in the streets, you know what I'm saying? What's in the actual street. And then made the song "Boss Up and Take Their Money," which was Jack of Blade, "Boss Up and Get This Money," which is another thing. All you cities that boss up shit, Snoop Dogg, that's some Detroit shit. No disrespect, E40, no disrespect, nobody. That boss up is some Detroit shit. Same thing like that. Oh boy, you know Jazzy Faye, who is Faye line from One Way, son from Flint, took that shit to everywhere he took that shit at. And we love Jazzy Faye, but he make it look, oh boy, he make it look like, but no, that's some Detroit shit, please. Just like the boss up, you know what I'm saying? And the killer part is Detroiters was killing each other over this shit. And then we just allowed the whole world to take it. So when you hear that I know Dawgface was talking shit about the Detroit versus everybody and everything. Okay, maybe the statement came out before us being together versus everybody was true, but we getting it together now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dawgface, because we damn sure running the shit out. We running the fuck out of his content right now. But don't you worry about that. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? We inbox that nigga like, yo, bro, I did a reaction video to your shit. Tag him in the description or some shit. I don't know. Just don't tell this nigga.
As for the reason the statement seemed to be necessary, someone I called played a recording of a man accusing me of all manner of illegal shit. And a lot of these little lames in here, in prison, run around running their mouth, dick riding, jumping on the coattail, or I should say the long tail of a rat, and don't know what the fuck they talking about.
Now, when he say the long tail of a rat, first of all, what he talking about is Jesse James got a 5K1. Did the city know that? Not entirely. It wasn't common knowledge. It wasn't spoke on. It wasn't something that was said. It was other people connected to the situation that have been suspected of doing some tattletelling. You know what I'm saying? Because there's different levels of snitching here. Let's be clear. Different levels of snitching here. And the tattletelling suspected in this case was motherfuckers pleading guilty and locking in other shit with their guilty plea. Not just necessarily a straight up, I'm taking a stand, he did X, Y, and Z. But maybe more so, yeah, you caught me with the pounds, but I stole them from Hector in Arizona. And we only stole 10,000 pounds, but he had 30,000. Maybe. I'm just speculating. Because let's not forget, I don't want no smoke with Messy Jesse either. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway.
Anyway, they say his name is Jesse James. I was confused. The white bandit and bank robber of the 1800s. I thought he was dead.
This nigga's a comedian, dog. He almost funnier than me.
Then I was told of a not so famous Detroit rapper and asked, his government name isn't James Chauffin Williams, is it?
When a nigga put your middle name in it, that's bad.
Because I got paperwork of a guy who came to prison in the late 2000s and claimed he and I were enemies. And had authorities place a separation order in my file, which kept me up north for 7 years.
Which is even more fucked up because Messy Jesse was, nigga, I was in the yard everywhere I was at. I am he. That's what he did, man. But Jesse James is a very entertaining guy. And that's why I'm like, bro, why you have to diss Juan? Dawgface gave you the perfect interview. You already introduced yourself on your you already lit your Instagram page up. And man, you was gonna pop. He's a very entertaining guy. He did not have he ain't have to do what he did. Nigga, we ain't even 4 minutes into this shit. And we 40 minutes into this shit.
No, can't be the same guy. Because the brother I was hearing going through a profanity-laced gangster rant seemed like he was drowning water, crippling sticks, and killing concrete. He claimed to be waiting to do harm to me outside a car wash.
That was him calling him broke. When somebody in prison when somebody that's in prison, that been in prison for years, call you broke on the street, that's bad.
No self-respecting Detroit bad guy would ever go on social media and incriminate himself. If this guy from Iowa, no.
He's right. He's right. Because what did I explain to you earlier about killers and murderers? He's fucking right. I've been a YouTuber for years. And my drug dealing is way statute of limitations. Never hear me discuss that shit. He's right. So I'm saying, man, that's what be the hard part about when they be interviewing these killers, man, and they get to talking and shit, and you peep like, hey, man, this guy may be a horrible person, but he's all right with me. It's like, but he's not. I mean, not killers, murderers. Okay. Look at me, I'm fucking confused. God damn, I'm sorry, Dre.
They can't be one and the same. Because the guy on Facebook attacking another guy who was once supposed to be his man.
I just want to point something out to you. This man showed respect. And it's very hard because you got to be double listening. He showed respect to Juan and he showed respect to Blade, even though he did what he did. So it shows that he saw whoever as a formidable opponent, the one he want to exchange bullet points with. And it's clear that he saw the one who he paralyzed as a factor.
I mean, like a broke bitch by definition standards, you know, a poor.
Now this nigga been talking so clean. He just came out with the broke bitch hard, boy. Shit.
Weak, contemptible man. Him sounded jealous and hurt. Him as an horrible imitation of a man. This man, and I use the word loosely.
He must have just got the word fresh in jail. He must got a phone in that motherfucker. Because that was Jesse. That's what I just said. I am him. Jesse's a very entertaining. Well, I guess in Detroit, all of us is entertaining because this nigga's fucking entertaining too. Shit. This nigga's fucking entertaining. I can't believe I'm being entertained by a murderer right now. This is crazy. See, this is why my YouTube platform is gonna be different. Because I could just like tell you certain things and say certain things, but I'm not. I'm gonna give it all to you straight, no chaser. But some things that don't have no value other than just being salacious, I'm gonna keep to myself. And then the confidence that people have bestowed in me by even conversating with me about these matters behind the screen or behind the camera, shall they say. Not on no casting couch either, bitch. You know, it matters. So just know Juan-O gonna always show you some respect. That's a fit in that. Even if I don't agree with you, or even if you don't like my jokes, you know what I'm saying? Or if you don't be like, damn, little homie, I appreciate you trying. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, I ain't gonna take none of that shit personal.
Does not know me and has never exchanged any words with me. I've never met Jesse James. No, not me. Me, a man who is without doubt a contradiction about that action. What JJ is doing is informing to any law enforcement personnel who follows him or any follower connected to him on social media.
Damn it, I'm giving out the nicknames here. Now this nigga giving new nicknames and shit. He call it. God damn it. Damn, OG, can I live? Can I live? I give out the nicknames around here, man. Damn. Look, let me hold on. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. Let me take my buffs off.
JJ, if you were truly cut like the image you project, we would have met by now. You would have made sure of it. We could have sat in or outside a bar and exchanged 100-round shots of tequila. Or I could have introduced you to my 45-year-old girlfriend, Kimber, and let you dance the night away with her. But you seem angry. Type of.
Whoa! Duh. No jumper over here. No jumper over here. That was 100% pure pornographic talk that you could play in a PG-13 movie, goddammit. That's how you talk on the motherfucking phone. Did you hear what he said, baby? He just told him what caliber he would have did him with, how he would have did him, and without talking about doing him. Like you gotta have some decency in Detroit City. And that's in my opinion, I think that was one of the things that Blaze shouldn't have did. I don't know if that contributed to his demise per se, but whether you know it or not, he made the first drill rap song, and it's a banger. This nigga was just singing some of the lyrics. He knows the fucking lyrics. And the beat was hard. He stole that he jacked that Detroit niggas. Detroit niggas will take your beat and put out a song that they making full royalties on. I don't know how they do it. I haven't did it yet, but I will. I don't know. But he took that Shorty Wanna Ride With Me beat and put that motherfucking song out. It was out. It's out. It's playing on the internet right now. I'm pretty sure his son collecting royalties off that motherfucker. That's where this shit get fucked up at. You know, there is Lil Blade. And I'm pretty sure you heard all these stories, man. I swear to you, I swear to you, I swear to you, man. That's why I changed my life. I swear that's why I changed my life, man. I do not want Junior dealing. You understand? I do not. I do not. But then sometimes I wonder if I stayed my ass in the street, then Junior ass would be straight and narrow. His ass, this nigga knocked out a teacher. He fucking selling breeds. Oh shit! Look at me. I'm snitching on Junior. This is not daddy time. And that's why I do this, kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there's so many better things in life. And guys like this guy, Dre Carter, you know, this the nigga that'll pay your college tuition or kill you. Like, and it's better to just be a kid in the hood doing what you're supposed to do. So a nigga like that help you get your first car or your first ice cream cart and don't have to kill your ass. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot better to just do that, man. Oh my God.
The guy who doesn't know a good time until you hit in the head with it twice. But that mouth is smart, sending words from a distance like a sniper, hoping someone with a badge or three-letter credentials is listening. You know, they call
Saying basically accusing Jesse James of dry snitching. Talking about that mouthpiece.
that one tell, one conviction. If you were your mouth, I'd be dead and alive. You know, natural life and all. Either that or came.
See, this Michigan. So Michigan is different. It's like northern Texas, but Michigan is more open in Texas, and then it's more strict in Texas. If you convicted of certain things or you done certain things, like my uncle got a natural life. You know what I'm saying? And that's like we ain't gonna kill you, but you here till it's over. And it's only but so many ways to get up out of that. You know what I'm saying? Like my uncle actually probably got a little bit of action of getting up out of his natural life, but not Dre. You know what I'm saying? Unless he was to do something that he ain't about to do, and we ain't gonna suggest that he do something like that because that would be disrespectful, and we ain't gonna assume that he would even think about doing something like that. But that would be disrespectful, and Juan-O don't want to smell his cologne either. Shit, I ain't. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, you know. Anyway, man.
Twice already. Because, baby, you working that throat. But, you know, let niggas tell it. Mo, washed up and wore out. I've been a victim. Don't believe the rumors. After each of the 31 times I've been shot, I have twice that number of bodies to my credit. That's not.
The nigga just claimed 60 some odd bodies, bro. 60 bodies. Nasty. Nasty. And he looked like a nigga R&B singer. 60 bodies? What the fuck? Dog. This is why, like, yo, I don't think you gotta kill everybody. How the fuck are we gonna get money if you gotta kill everybody? Yo, the bitches is aborting all the babies. Niggas is killing everybody. What the fuck is we doing? Why trying to get money, baby? We ain't got no army. What the fuck? Yo, I done put us on the table, baby. Ain't no army. Y'all killing everybody. What? Like, can we work it out, nigga? I be losing it. I'll be losing it. Just a little bit though.
Not exactly true. It's like, JJ being a solid nigga, it's all cap. But my rappy on my murder conviction is still listed as unknown black male. I ain't never told on nobody. I went to trial on my federal indictment for various charges, never took a plea.
You heard what he said? 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 That lets you know he got get out of jail free cards that he not even trying to cash in. You know what I'm saying? He telling you that he's a different type of certification. And like this is like why you don't do Detroit story? That's because most of these niggas is murderers. Juan-O is just a killer. What am I gonna do? And then I don't weigh that much, man. Niggas here be upset if you use the wrong verb, bro. Like fuck all that other shit. They be upset if you use the wrong verb. Niggas be upset if you got the wrong glasses on when you say some shit. The amount of things that people be upset for in Detroit based on what you do is, man, you don't know, man. You don't fucking know. That's why I got this jersey on, man. Jalen Rose, everybody love Jalen Rose. It'd be like I gotta hold this shit like that. Hey, yo. Like real shit, man.
Agreement 35, downward departures, or Rule 11. All men should account for their own misdeeds. If anyone would ask the streets who I am, I hope they would simply respond, one of the last stand-up guys of his era. But if you would have asked me, you know how niggas do, I'd probably cap a little and say, if I was in Hollywood, I'd be listed as an action thriller. If I played in the NBA, I'd be Steph Curry,
shots,
number one shooter. If I was a car, yeah, niggas, I'd be a challenger or a demon. And if I was out, men with loose tongues wouldn't be where they are right now. So here's some advice to those who like to cap and clout chase. Let's tie those tongues up. Remember, we are in the sunset of our lives and night is fast approaching. Our focus should be on taking care of our families while enjoying the time we have left on earth and not poking monsters as they lie caged. Because you never know. This cage might open and free me. Then what? Are you niggas built for deep conversation? I am. God is a comedian. And just for laughs, he or she might allow all of us to meet just one more time, so we can dead any issues. Quick PSA, public service announcement. Whole niggas who chase real niggas are like dogs chasing cars. They don't know what to do when they catch them. Not at all. They don't know what to do. So, keep my name out your mouth. I'm going to stay silent. I'm going to mind my own business. I'm going to do this bit. Please, try not to wake me up again.
Dog. Now this is another reason why I don't do well, I do Detroit stories. But stuff like this is kind of like, what the fuck? Because what he telling you is somebody rolled with him on some of that shit he did. And they still out here. In the proximity of that person to the proximity of people that's being violators right now, it's pretty close. And he just did and I know people get upset about it, but I kind of was around people like him when I grew up. He's triple and quadruple talking. He's speaking to several people at one time with every word. Man, I ain't got nothing but respect for everybody. And what it all boils down to is this. This is Detroit's time to shine. He know it. I know it. Street Lord Juan know it. Dawgface know it. Everybody but Messy Jesse knew it. Messy Jesse could still shine. All he got to do is claim his fame based on what he really did, man. And the rest of this shit, like, I guess it should be left alone. And I would, like, this ain't some of these other states. I almost called a few states out. States out. Like I said earlier in this video, ain't no brick babies running on. No, my bad. Because I know the real brick baby. And it's some of his type running around here. Ain't no MPA shit trolls running around here. Ain't no Adam 22 and going on here. This is Detroit City. And for Dard to lay down the respect, for Dard to protect, because the way he did this interview, he also protected Street Lord Juan's reputation and image. Now, I don't know the connection. I don't want to be disrespectful with my ignorance. But what I can tell you as an internet personality, he shows supreme respect to the image of Icewood and Juan. And I don't know if you noticed, Detroit is a cut out the cancer type of place. And what you have right now is a bunch of people that's not on the same side, that do not agree with each other, that would probably kill each other if they was in a back room together, coming together to point out what the cancer is. And coincidentally, from my understanding, Messy Jesse isn't even in the city. While all of us are here, and at least in the state. And let me not include us, me and us, because these niggas is murderers, and I'm just a killer. Not to say one is better than the other, but goddamn it, them niggas is breaking the law on top of breaking the law. I just only broke the law to get my money. Like this. No, let me quit. I don't mean to make light of it, but like, yo, young kids, it's people out here that won't think twice about deleting you, and it's justifiable in their mentality. It ain't worth it to be out here false flagging and none of that shit. Like, yo, be yourself and make sure people know who you are, and then they'll respect you for that. And you make sure the person that you are and some shit that you can stand on no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I gotta go put my community dig shirt on. I should have been representing myself with my community dig shirt on. But like, can't nobody hate me for that because they know that's who I am. You know, that's who I've been since I was a kid, you know? And that's what it is. You know, I like chubby girls, kind of. You know, girls that's between a T. I like girls that between an 8 and a size 14. I like big titties, natural hair. That's what I'm in. That's what I'm on. Pretty toes. You know what I'm saying? And I like to get my money, man. I like to make people laugh. I like for shit to be good around me. And that's why I gotta learn to say no. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I don't never say no because I want everybody to be happy. But in some ways that shit ended up making me unhappy. And I gotta watch what I'm doing. I don't want to be on the wrong side of a nigga like this because I've been doing shit for people that don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? I got to watch out. I got to stay on top of my gangster. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, we're gonna get to closing this down for the night, man. Like, I don't think this was the road that we was going down or nobody should have went down initially. You know, somebody like me, somebody like me gotta always call it fair. People ask, was I like nigga, you a wine apologist or you just on this side or you just, you know, this, that, or whatever. And it's like, nah, man, I'm on the city side. I'm on the city side. I'm on the city side. The same as this nigga in this interview, because he could have went renegade. And like he could have kept speaking in a PG-13 manner, but he could have dissed everybody. But he didn't. He ain't even diss Blade. respect. Fucking respect, man. And just to all you people in these other cities that's like, yo, Juan-O, you doing stories on our city and this and this, and it's like, yo, bro. And some of these stories I investigated, it might have been one bad guy. It might have been two. It might have been one murderer. It might have been two. But when you talking about a Detroit story, down there, everybody involved gonna be a murderer. That's just as sad as that sound. I mean, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, my granddad, well, my granddad and my great granddad, they kill white people. You know what? Time to go. We out. But just to let you know though, like my great grandfather, we just put him on the floor since I brought that up. Like he was a young man, teenager, drafted in the World War II. He went over there on D-Day. You know, from his time of being a nigga in North Carolina, running from certain shit, he was one of them dudes that made it up that sand. And he was able to protect and save the lives of some of his fellow Caucasian people that ended up on that beach with him because things didn't go how they were supposed to go. You understand? Long story short, when they started to get a foothold and they started to meet up with their other suppliers because D-Day went horrible. It went fucking horrible. But the horribleness of the first day is what allowed them persevering and fighting through to the later days to make it the best thing that happened. But what happened for my grandfather wasn't so good because after he killed white men to save the life of white men and injured white men to save the life of the injured white men he was with, dragged a few crackers across the beach or whatever. When they go and they set up their base and they eating and so on and so forth, they getting their chow in. My grandfather would look at the lives of the officers that he just saved, and they would be eating. They would be, hear me now. They would be eating. Hear me now. Right in front of my granddad's face, my great grandfather's face. They would be eating with the lieutenants and the ranking members of the POWs that my grandfather just might have shot one of or helped save this same nigga from. Why? Because they white. So even though these niggas got us up this beach, we gotta segregate ourselves from them. He was good enough to save my life, but he ain't good enough to eat with. I'd rather eat with the enemy. And then when the white boys got back, my grandfather was outlawed, and they got them GI Bills to help them buy houses. My grandfather didn't get one. And then he had to go right back to work. And then when he saved up enough money, because my grandma saved his money while she was, she saved most of it that he was sending home. He went back to work. So a couple years, they was able to buy a house. They don't need shit from crack. Excuse me. But, my grandfather was a man of few words, but I'm absolutely positively sure most of the words he ever spoke in his life, I got them. Damn, that's heavy. Where was I at? So yeah, he ended up having to buy his own house. While the white people he fought and saved, the government helped him buy their house. And then he had to buy a house that on the bottom of that bitch said, "Don't sell to niggas." Nice brick house on 6 Mile. That a little bit after he died, his kids sold for less than what he paid for it. At that time I was just like a petty drug dealer, but I did have that 20. Where I passed my grandfather's house a whole lot and know it's supposed to be my house, but it's not. And not a house worth way more than he paid for it, and it's not in this family. I don't have it. So when you listen to dudes like this or whatever that's realizing like what they did, because you got to understand, like if I could tell you a story like that, there's no telling what he had access to before he got turned out on killing and drug dealing and whatever the fuck else. So some of us are really serious about doing better for this city, because make no mistake about it, Atlanta is not Wakanda, Detroit is. We actually own this motherfucker. Now, they parceling and selling it off, but when you get to checking the history, they can't hide the fact that we own major pieces of these bitch, and throughout all kind of dirty ass means and suspect stories, they stole that ownership of these things back from us. And that's all I got to say about that. That's also, like you asked me, that's also why they put Meech in jail. Meech was owning shit around here that people didn't know about. And when they found out he had them Chaldeans fronting for him to own and buy shit, they knew they couldn't have no drug dealer with $100 million owning shit. What you gotta understand, when you go back down the list of Detroit drug dealers, like shout out to Street Lord Juan, because he made sure he exemplified that he was a businessman. Shout out to Dawgface. Dawgface is a businessman, property owner. Fucking Demetrius Holloway, Maserati Rick, T Stuckey, man, the list, Showboat. The list goes on and on and on and on. There's no floss a lot. There's no Detroit drug. There's no Detroit baller. Sorry, Flossie. There's no Detroit baller who doesn't own businesses, property, etc., etc. This is not like other places. You know what I'm saying? I will say we are kind of similar to Texas in certain ways. And then we different. We out.